Welcome to a brand new YouTube video on this YouTube channel. My name is Mama Charlotte. So the topic of today's video is going to be about what not to say to a trans person, and specifically to a trans woman, since I am a trans woman. It's easier for me to talk about myself and as my experience than I am talking for a trans guy. This is not going to be just about talking. It's going to be more so about just body movement, talking, anything that has to do with interactions you have with a trans woman. Don't stare at them. We do not like to be stared at. A lot of the time, being stared at is also a trigger to us because we're thinking we're being clocked. Even if you find a trans woman attractive, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there are some people that don't know that we're trans. I get it. So when they see us, they don't think, am I looking like I'm clocking them? No, if they find us attractive, they're obviously gonna sit there and look at us. But if you are aware that we are trans, then, you know, a compliment might be good, but don't stare. Because when you stare at someone, they get kind of weirded out. And if you stare at a trans woman, they think you're clocking them, even though you might think it in a whole different way. You might think that you're doing an injustice, but you're not really doing a justice. Don't sit there and ask, what are your pronouns? Now, I know a lot of people in the community specifically request and think it's a very polite thing to ask for what your pronouns are. And this is where I say stop. Stop it. It is not a good thing to ask a trans woman or a trans guy, what is your pronouns? The reason why I say this is because if you don't know who this person is, you're basically clocking them. You're letting them know, hey, I know you're trans. You're not really fooling anybody. Are you a she or a he? What do you identify as? And it's in a way, it is very, very polite. But in another way, it's very much letting us know that we're not really doing much. You kind of just clocked us at that point, and you kind of know that we're trans. It's I don't know. I would feel very, very like, I mean, I wouldn't be offended like in a bad way. Like, oh my God, how could you just say that? I would just feel very uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, I guess I'm not really passable. I guess that means someone's asking me. Like, it's polite, but it's not polite, if that makes any sense at all. The next thing to do for a trans person is to not say, have you got the surgery done? And I think this is a universal one for a lot of trans YouTubers that have said this kind of video, that have made this kind of video. For a lot of transgender YouTubers that have made videos like this, they have always started off with this very topic. Do not ask if you've gotten the surgery done, especially if you just met a trans person. It's very uncomfortable, and it makes us feel like, you know, we're two different kinds of people. There is post-op and there's pre-op, and I get it. To some people, that is a preference. But at the end of the day, you know, you don't need to know what's between my legs unless you're trying to date me, or unless I consent to talking to you in a dating manner. So don't start off by asking those questions. And I only say this because nobody walks up to you and says, hey, have you gotten the surgery done? No, I'm talking about people that actually you've started your conversation with. They will, and you start talking about your transition, they will ask that question. A lot of times they will ask you if you're pre-op or post-op, pre-op or post-op. And a lot of times it's not in a rude manner. They don't say like, "Oh, do you still have it?" No, they kind of do it in a very sweet manner. And whether you're open or not, you know, it can just be an uncomfortable question. A lot of people look at being trans as you're not trans until you got cut off down there, or you got, you know, a sausage added on to the bottom area of your pubic area. So to a lot of people, they see transitioning as you're not truly a girl unless you have a vagina. You're not truly a guy unless you have a penis. It is absolutely rude to talk to a trans woman and assume that because she's trans, that she's open to sex. And this is the reason why I say this is because a lot of guys will fetishize trans women because it's either a fetish to them, or because they think, oh, well, because she's not fully, you know, a female, she's going to be completely open. She probably has lower standards. Let me ask this person on a hookup. And to a lot of people, trans people are a lot more three-dimensional than just a stupid hookup. I'm telling you guys right now, do not hit on a trans woman and just go right into the hookup because you think, well, a lot of trans women are prostitutes, a lot of trans women do adult content, but that doesn't mean they're completely open to just having sex because of the fact that they're trans. That's not real. That's not a realistic thing. Do not talk and do not push sex because you feel like they're easier to get. Another point I want to make is that one thing you shouldn't ask a trans woman or a trans guy is, hey, do you have any pictures of you when you were beforehand? What did you look like beforehand? And asking about their past selves, or what's your old name? I think that's the most rudest thing you can ask someone that is trans. I know some people might be curious, and I think that's the reality of at the end of the day is that people are just curious, and curiosity can kill this. Curiosity killed the cat. Is it cat? I don't know, but I do not like that question because it is very rude. It's in terms that makes you feel like you're not exactly who you used to. You're not exactly who you are, and you used to be someone else. Now, I get it physically, and maybe even, being around me beforehand was a different experience, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. I've always been the same spirit inside this body. I still have the same likes. I still have the same ambitions as I did before I transitioned. So you don't need to know my past. If I'm willing to give it to you, I'm willing to give it to you. You don't need to ask for it. And something else to not tell a trans person is, wow, you look better than I do. Your makeup is so much better than mine. And I've been a female all my life. I think this is one of the other ones that people say a lot about is a lot of cis women will sit there and tell a trans woman, oh, wow, your makeup is so good, and I've been a girl all my life and stuff like that. And, to a lot of people, it's a compliment. To most people, it is rude. It interprets that trans women cannot be good at makeup, which is funny because I think I read that makeup was actually originated by males. Makeup is universal. It's not just a genderized kind of thing. Anyone could wear makeup. It's just that society has taught women to wear makeup and men to be kind of like manly and masculine, not wear anything. And that's completely fine. Men don't have to wear makeup if they don't want to. Majority of men don't have to. In fact, I think it only suits the feminine men, really, to be honest. That's just me. This goes along with the last comment. And some women might say, you look better than me. And I've been a female for longer. Or I've been a female for my entire life. And you don't look like you are trans. And oh my God, I would have never known. And oh my God, you used to be a boy or you used to be a girl. Now, this can flatter a trans person in a lot of ways because trans people will be like, oh my God, I'm doing such a good job. I feel so good. And this is a mixed ball. It depends on who you are and what you find, appealing and nice and sweet. If you're like some of us that like being told that kind of stuff, it's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? But it doesn't paint trans people in a very good picture. If you look at it overall, it interprets that trans women need to look like men that are wearing makeup and drag queen like, that we have to have the fakest of hips, that we have to look like fake women, and we have to look uglier than regular women. A lot of people find trans women as kind of like a downgrade to a regular woman. Like if you date a cis woman, and you break up with her and you end up with a trans woman, a lot of people find that as a downgrade. No matter how good looking that trans woman is, it is a downgrade to a lot of people. And unfortunately, there's some people out there that will sit there and talk shit, really, about trans people. And so you may think you're doing it justice, but if you overall look at the picture of your comment and your sweetness, think of it like this. It is also attacking a lot of trans people that are not passable or don't look as good as another trans person. And I get it. There's a lot of people that are complaining at this point because there's just trigger after trigger after trigger for each community in this LGBTQ plus AI plus community. And I completely understand it. I'm not a triggered person. Me being trans, I have not been triggered over a lot of different things. If people have given me that answer, oh my God, you don't look like you used to be, I find it to be thank you. And makeup one is kind of different for me. It's like on and off, but I don't get triggered as easily. I don't go up and yell at people and start making scenes because someone called me a he or a sir, even though it really doesn't happen in public. It happens over the phones more so than it ever happens in public. And that's the difference between me, because my voice isn't passable. And maybe I'm just passable enough a little bit to pass off as being called a she and her in public, because I don't get called a he, him at all. In fact, the only times I actually ever do get misgendered is basically by family, and it's by accident. Otherwise, in public, nope. I'm Gucci. Another. And this is just going to be another part of clocking. And this one is, don't stare at a trans woman. And in fact, don't stare at the trans woman's sexual areas. In fact, okay, good. This might be a little far-fetched for one. So, I mean, if you are attracted to one, I get it. If you're attracted to a trans woman, I understand. But when a trans woman gets that visual look at her crotch area, she already knows something's going on. If a trans woman is getting watched in her neck area, bottom face, they're being clocked and they know it. So watch your eyes and just pay attention to her eyes. That's all you need to do. But with that being said, my computer is going to die, and of course I have to be that person. But I do hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys did, leave it a like. Please subscribe to my Charoletteers today. If you guys want to be Charoletteers, please share the video as well. Do everything you guys can to support me if you guys want to support. I do have a book down in the description below if you guys want to go order one of my books. Mystica, the book of Mystica, A World Beyond Dreams. It's down below. Anyways, guys, I love you guys. Lots of tear shots, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.